Merchant Marines.
Yeah.
And
I was 17.
you did that, you volunteered for Merchant Marine?
Yeah.
Or you get drafted?
Oh, no, I volunteered. Because I had one brother, I had a brother-in-law who was in the Army fighting the Japanese in the South Pacific. A brother who was on a submarine chaser in the North Atlantic. Another brother who was in the 8th Air Force in England. They're all in the war.
You did, yeah. Wow.
And I was the youngest, you know, so. No, I'm
Seriously?
serious.
You used to watch him from there?
Yeah,
Wow.
you sit up there with a long glass and watch the battle in Okinawa. Honest to God.
Jesus.
Well, better watching than
Yeah.
being in them.
You're right.
That's wild.
I'm getting some video.
We go up there.
Go wherever you want. The only thing I can tell you that I never got bored. We were always busy. We were playing card games. We were playing cribbage was a big game. Pinochle we played. We were never bored. Never ever. We always talked.
Yeah.
You know, shoot the bull, whatever.
Play for money?
I did. That's something a lot of guys did.
How about the food?
The food, as far as I was concerned, was outstanding. We had a mess crew. I was a midshipman, so I ate with the officers. We were served. We ordered, and the food was served to us. My bed was made for me.
Really? You like that, Greg?
You guys ready?
Oh yeah, those are all. We were trained, but they handled the guns. And we talked about the Saipan, Guam, Tinian, Philippine Islands.
You ever get off? Or
After
just
that?
dump whatever you were carrying? And
No, it was difficult to get off some of those ports. I did get off the Philippine Islands. That's the only place to get off.
You said the most you spent was like 7
7 months.
on the ship.
Yeah, on the same
And
ship.
Eddie, what was the name of the ship you were on?
The Meteor. That was a C2. But
Okay.
after that, I was on the Hannibal Victory and the
Dalton?
I was on
Dalton Victory too, right?
the, yeah, the Dalton Victory and the Hannibal Victory.
Way to get down.
Yeah.
We added an easier set of stairs to go down there in the center for
Sure.
tours.
That's our old way.
Yep, that's the original.
Yeah.
oh, that right there.
Yeah, this steep stairway. Yeah, you can go down. Feel free to explore. It used to be straight across next to Cabrillo Beach.
This is our third trip here. What you used to do, Gregory?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wait till we go up.
So
Now,
where would you, when you were working?
now this was a, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is,
I'm interested, so I'm going to listen.
oh, okay, this is a steam turbine as I remember. Remember, this is 70 years ago.
Yeah. If you have questions,
Yeah. Now, we did have water tube boilers.
we got two here. Still water tubes. These are the originals.
And my job, since I was a cadet midshipman going through the academy at that time, my job was to go in the back there and blow the tubes. You know, with the chains?
Yep, the soot blower.
Yeah.
Um,
And you had, I used to carry a bucket with me to throw up in. No, I'm being serious. Yeah, my first
This
trip.
is all, this is about moving.
My first
when you're-
trip was from Chicago to San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco to Pearl Harbor, back to Pearl Harbor. And I carried a bucket with me. I got sick all the way over, all the way back. The minute you put your foot on the pier, you were fine. But the minute that ship, was rolling, I was so I never got sick after that.
After that?
Never got sick, and we had some real rough weather. But if you walk back here, there was a smell and the odor. It was,
You said your job was to.
Can we walk back here?
as far as I'm
Yeah, you can
concerned,
walk back
you
there,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think we had Babcock and
That's what
Wilcox, yeah. The water tube.
I mean, these ships were cookie cutter. Every ship was built the same
I know.
from the main deck down,
Yeah.
so if you had every Victory ship had
And as
Babcocks
I
and Wilcox.
remember, there used to be a big diesel up there,
Diesel,
a diesel engine, for generating some power if we lost it.
we have the steam generators are over there, and then we have some small diesel generators if we're not running on shore power to get things going. I don't know if there was a large one.
There used to be a big one up there.
It very well could be.
But there was a big one. About 4.
4 or 5 guys in this one.
Not over.
Through this whole place.
Now, how does it,
So
how
you're
many,
probably
At a
running,
time.
so you're probably running around doing a bunch of stuff.
are there 2 engines here? Are there 2 engines here? 1 engine.
That's it.
That's the engine.
And then it reduces, reduces the power.
Okay.
And,
The lights are on, so if you want to see Chef down.
okay, feel free to go down here.
Yep.
Now, this is what's so scary. I'm trying to remember. There used to be we had a bell here. You ring. Oh, there it is.
Where's the bell?
Right there, that big
Right
thing.
there.
Oh, that's
And
the bell.
There's a hammer sitting right next to it.
What was that for?
That's how you, here, that one.
It's so loud in here.
So you switch, at 8 bells, you switch shifts.
Okay.
2 bells per hour, so it,
So it's just to signal
Now, the
how
first
far
time
into the
I
shift
did
you
it,
are.
my first trip, without thinking, I banged it, 8 straight. That's emergency. I don't know, whatever it is, that was an emergency.
I have no idea. It's the first I've heard of it.
8 straight without
Bad.
the intermission. Emergency. All of a sudden, the chief engineer, everybody's down there. I don't know what. But one of the, I was a wiper or an oiler, I think that. His name was Me. His last name was Me. And we lost our power somewhere in the middle of the Pacific. And I'm down there with the chief engineer, and he starts screaming at me, "Get me!" I didn't know what he's talking about. I mean, I knew the guy, but I called him by another name. His last name was Me. You know, he got so angry at me, and then he finally realized.
So that bell just signaled the time? Every hour somebody would come hit it
only
twice?
between shifts.
Only between shifts? Okay.
So when you heard the
You
bell,
get 2, it would be 2 rings before a shift change.
Okay.
Before the 8. You get 2 rings, then the exact time.
I never knew what it was before until today. I just figured it was a way to get people's attention. It's loud in here.
That's how you change it. Now, over here,
it must be so loud in here.
It is. And you could, when we get the boilers fixed and we sail, you can actually tour the engine room while we're underway.
over
Yeah.
here, I don't think we had a telephone. We had a tube to yell up to the bridge.
There's a tube somewhere, and I don't know where it is in here, and then there's a direct line to the captain's quarters and the
But
bridge.
that's with the tube. Or with
No,
the,
with the phone.
I don't remember that we had a phone.
This phone has been replaced. The one on the bridge is different than this one.
Okay, well, it's possible maybe it did. But now this is
Right here,
not
this is
like-
the one to the bridge.
Yeah.
This one here.
Well, I know they didn't have a
This
computer.
is how you communicated
They're
with
getting
the
ready to
bridge.
do a movie shoot here on Monday for Scorpion. You ever seen that show on CBS?
Yeah.
They want it to look like a modern.
Now
So they
this,
have a computer.
what you did, this is how the bridge communicated the speed,
Okay.
how many RPMs they wanted.
Okay.
With
So,
this thing.
so they would, when
Here,
they,
stand by. In
So
other
this-
words,
this
the
thing-
gears are not in operation.
so they would
Stand by.
cause this to move.
Yeah.
They do their thing.
Can I
up.
do it? No.
No, 'cause it's
okay.
locked up top.
Okay.
So this would go like to here.
Yeah.
And then
Now
what-
here, if you're going ahead,
Yeah.
it would go stand by, meaning get ready.
Right.
You had nothing in, no steam going through. Then slow, that was so many RPMs, half was in full, and also in reverse.
So, there,
But that was a communication.
so there's someone here all the time watching that?
Oh,
or-
of course, 24 hours a day, 7, yeah,
This is the
always.
chief engineer's place.
Well,
okay.
generally speaking, when you're at sea, no, there wouldn't be someone here, but when you're maneuvering to
Yeah.
go into a port, to a pier, Yeah, you had to be here full time.
So then, like, you'd see that change? and
What?
the guy- So you'd see that change?
Yeah,
And
you
the
see
guy
that.
would yell like,
No, they wouldn't yell. The bridge has a duplicate of this. up
And
on
it
the
rings
bridge.
this bell when they move it.
Yeah.
And then you grab a hold of the other one and
You, here, Sam, what you
you
do,
don't do it, but I get it. You just match it.
this,
up.
Yep.
and this tells you to match.
So then the person here, the engineer, would yell to everybody and say,
What? Wouldn't you?
well, how does it?
The bridge, here, this thing here would move by, I think.
Right, I get
It's
it.
moved
matched
by
to the
bridge.
one, yeah.
So they would move it up here.
Right, then you'd
And then
match
as
it.
I remember, you would do it like this
Yep.
and bring it up.
Yep, you move it back and forth
Yeah.
to ring the bell on the bridge, so they know, oh, they're getting ready to
Okay.
communicate back.
And then the person here would then just go find,
Open the valves right here.
Okay, the valves.
It's amazing how
that cranks
all
the
of a sudden,
And what does this do?
Comes
What,
back.
what do the valves do? It causes more or less steam, or what's
the amount of steam.
The more steam, we don't have gears. We got one gear. So the faster you spin the turbine, the faster the shaft goes.
Oh,
The slower you spin the turbine, the slower the shaft goes.
Got
So
it.
more steam spins the turbine
That's what I
faster,
mean. It's
creates
done
more
by
RPM.
RPM, as I said,
I
it's done
see.
by RPM, it's
okay, yeah, makes
revolution.
sense. I didn't know that. And then what do you use for fuel? Oil?
Diesel.
Diesel oil?
These things will burn just about anything.
Yeah.
They burn crude, they burn anything, but yeah.
So how do you recall how
What?
many days you could go before you had to refuel? Like I said,
We,
you
as I
go,
remember, we went from San Francisco to Okinawa and back, and I don't think we refueled,
really, so you
but
go,
I'm not, I
No
don't
way.
remember.
I don't know, to be honest.
You know, because going there, we left San Francisco, then we went to Anahuac, then we went to Ulithi, then we went to Okinawa. Those were under convoy conditions. Then we would come back. I don't know, I have the log. You know, I said about log, I meant to bring it and I forgot.
Oh, that would have been really neat to see.
I'll send it to you. I promise you. When I get home, I will. I'll
That'd be neat.
send you a copy of my log.
Talking about logs, you know, you go down, lay on some of these bunks, and you look up at the bottom of the bunk, and guys would write stuff. They would log
way.
in pencil on the bunks, and
Yeah.
under there, and they'll be like, "Hey, this is the best bar in Okinawa. Hey, I've been at sea for 45 days and made it to these stops," and things like that. You know, and it's
I
really
will tell you an absolutely true story. But anyway, then we dropped off our troops at Okinawa. We were there for a month during the war. Then we came back to San Francisco. Why we came back? Empty. Then from San Francisco, they sent us to the Philippine Islands. I assumed at that point the war was still on. They were getting us ready to go to the invasion of Japan. That was in August of '45. And then we dropped the bomb, and that was it. Otherwise, I would have been one of, would have been on the troop transfer, easily one of the first loads in there. That's why these assholes, excuse my language, say we shouldn't have dropped the bomb. They don't know what they're talking about.
so you were in the Philippines when the
At
war
the end of the war, yeah.
ended,
Yeah.
and it was, I assume, everybody was celebrating, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a huge
Well,
deal.
I missed it all because for VE Day I was at sea, we were on our way to Okinawa somewhere. VJ Day, we were somewhere between, I think Guam and the Philippines.
Okay.
So I missed all that, so then we went to the Philippines and we brought our first load of troops back from Philippines to Portland, Oregon. That was exciting.
That must have been a nice trip.
You saw movies of those people, the troops coming in the first ship, with the bands and the floats. Oh, it was, and these guys had been away 4 or 5 years.
So after you took that first load back of guys to Oregon, did you have to go back and get more troops?
No.
Or you were done then?
I was done, and I was taken off that ship. I'm trying to remember. That was we went to Swan Island. What happened? I have to look at my
Okay.
log. And I think I came back to San Francisco. I'm not sure else. The ship came back to San Francisco, and they put it into dry dock. And I was living in a hotel for about 2.5 months. I loved it. The ship was in dry dock, and they gave me subsistence. But at that time, this is October of '45, my brother, who was in the Navy, chasing Nazi submarines in World War II in the North Atlantic, which was really rough duty. I was walking down the street in San Francisco, this is, again, I'm digressing, in October of '45, and I met my brother's best friend.
No,
His name was Bud Morgan. So I said, you know, what are you doing here? Well, at that time, I was, what, 18 or 19? Well, August, I was 19. These kids were all 23. And they were all Navy pilots flying off aircraft carriers. Can you believe that?
Wow.
23 and they're back.
Yeah.
So anyway, he said, look, I'm meeting a bunch of my friends tonight. And at that point, I didn't know my brother was on a ship coming into San Francisco too. So anyway, I said, fine, I'll meet you tomorrow night. And he told me the name of wherever it was. And lo and behold, that afternoon, my brother showed up from
That's pretty
his
cool.
destroyer escort. And I said, I've got good news for you. You know, we're meeting Bud Morgan and his friends for dinner. So we all went, you know, I sort of cry sometimes. But anyway, we all went to dinner. And these kids are 23,
Yeah.
you know, and the war was over. It's end. They're back. And what they had been through, you know, in
Yeah.
aircraft carriers. They're all Navy pilots.
Yeah, so
22, 23.
they're just kids. Yeah.
They're kids. I mean, look at it. How old are you? What are you, 20?
20, yeah.
I was back home when I was 20.
Yeah, those are the guys that fought for us.
What?
Those are the guys who fought for us in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started flying at 19 and got home
Yeah.
at 23.
Oh, sure.
You know,
They're flying off carriers.
and that was new back then. They didn't.
No, there were a lot of carriers.
No, but World War II was the first time that.
Oh, during the war,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, flying off carriers. That's all brand new during World War II.
And
They
you look at
didn't.
the planes that these kids flew. Oh my God.
Yeah,
They're peanuts.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh well, come on, we'll go shoot the shaft out.
We're doing a little construction back there, so just be careful with some wires and stuff.
Where's Sam?
It's coming down?
Be careful.
Yeah, I got it.
This is another one of my jobs besides grinding in valves. Here.
How does it feel, the 80-year-old guy telling you to be careful?
Yeah. Seriously.
Funny, huh?
These are all sensors. Oh, be careful.
Well, he does have a lot more experience on this ship than I do.
Be careful. Sam,
Yeah.
Lift your feet.
be careful. Right here, there's a drive.
Got it. Oh yeah, I remember this room.
Yeah. This is your shaft. This is what drives the propeller.
Wow.
And my job was to come down here every, whatever the frequency was, and touch this bearing to see how hot it was. Luckily, none of them ever got real hot.
What if it gets hot? What do you do?
If
You
they're
stop.
real hot, they lose
Stop.
their lubrication.
So you gotta stop the engine.
Oh, yeah, they have to, well, they gotta figure out some way. Well, I've never had that experience.
They turn the valves on up top.
What?
The valve, that's water. Yep, so they turn water on to cool it off if it
Oh.
got too hot. Yep,
Okay.
just to run water over the casing to try and help cool it off.
Got
Yeah,
it.
but they would, as I remember, we didn't have that water, but we might have. But we had a feeling.
Well, you never had to use it, so that's good.
Yeah.
The big questions in the tests were, what was between the shaft and the bearing?
Nothing.
Think about it. No, you're wrong.
Between the shaft and the bearing.
Yeah. That was one of our tests. Oil.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So anyway.
It's just
well, we go-
crazy that it was all manual. You actually had to physically touch it with your hand.
Yeah.
And the computer to tell you the
Yeah.
temperature is 210 degrees.
Yeah.
Keep that spit on it first, see if it sizzles.
Watch your head, Sam.
I'm all right.
No.
Yeah, mass. Wow.
These are spare parts.
I knew, part of my job, I had to diagram. I was going through the Merchant Marine Academy, and 6 months at sea, there was a training well, we were training at the time. You had to do a diagram of the ship with every single pipe. Every single line was, I knew what everything, see all these down here, all these pipes up there? You had a diagram, every single
Wow.
pipe, every single line.
Crazy.
You had to do it in 6 months.
Really? Wow.
Every single valve here. You had to know every, here, see these? You had to know what every valve was for.
Let me just label them.
Then my mother threw it out, I was so angry. Now,
Basically, engineering school is 6 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is one long, this is one long shaft.
But we didn't even
at
go.
the end here, there's an escape. If you get torpedoed,
No way.
What?
way back, what?
If you get torpedoed, what? There's a,
If you get, the ship gets torpedoed, or
escape.
something happens, you get bombed or something, there is an escape hatch back there.
Wow.
Comes up with the fantail.
oh, I didn't know that.
What's that lead to? Like a.
What?
What's the escape lead to? The lead
Back
like,
up.
like
Main
on the
deck.
top? Okay.
The fantail on the main deck. I don't even know if you know this. Statistically speaking, the merchant marine engineers was the most dangerous job in World War II.
Now you tell me.
1 in 26 merchant marines died. Of the merchant marines that died, 75% of them were engineers.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
The only reason I took it is I figured I'd learn something. You know, deck,
Chip and paint and,
yeah, what are you gonna do? Down in the engine room, I would learn, and it did, it helped me a lot.
yeah. But it's was the most dangerous job in World War II.
That's pretty, wow.
In the ship,
Sewer pipes and everything?
everything,
Oh,
you-
gee.
nothing was left out.
That's crazy.
Absolutely nothing. Every single, and I knew what everyone, you had to know.
Yeah.
What
Every single valve.
Every
So
single-
all these
That
ones
way,
over
yeah,
here.
When you were in port, you spent all your time grinding them in. Oh, that was terrible.
You probably dreamt about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember the pressure, the pounds per inch.
About 750 psi.
Is that what we developed, that much?
Yep. Superheated steam. Yep.
I didn't I know it was superheated, but I didn't realize it was that hot.
Yep.
Occasionally, when you were at sea, it would happen to, one of the tubes would burst.
Really?
So we had two boilers here, so you could still be underway. But it never happened on the ship I was on, but I heard about it.
We blew tubes in this superheater over
What?
here. We blew tubes in this superheater last year.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So they blow a tube, you have to shut down the thing, let it cool down,
Right.
and you could replace the tube.
Now, what exactly is
This is, see, these are gas.
If you come up over here.
They go
Now,
this
when
way?
I say water tube, the water went through the tube. Yeah, the water went
Yep.
through and the flames would heat it up.
I
They have
see.
fire
That's how you
tubes,
get the steam.
but not on oil. They have fire tubes, not on ships, because a water tube can get higher pressure, because the pressure on the water helps seal it from the inside. A fire tube is the opposite. The water's on the outside of the tube, so if you get too high a pressure, it'll break the seal.
Got it.
None of this stuff is welded in on the pressure side. I'm trying to turn my flashlight on. It's rolled in.
Yeah.
So if you look in here, those tubes are just rolled in there. It's not a welded seal or anything, it's a pressed fit.
Flares.
Yeah, so if you have water here pushing out, it helps seal it. If you had water on the other side, which is a fire tube,
Yeah.
so they put water tubes on these because they could get higher pressure out of them.
Okay.
It was interesting how the one thing I
That's amazing.
remembered was the telegraph.
What's that?
The telegraph.
The engine
How I
order
remember
telegraph.
that, yeah. It came,
Yeah, these tubes are all pitted.
Yeah.
They have not done a good job. We have not done a good job. That's why we blew the tube, because our water treatment was not.
Yeah, well, you couldn't shut them down, as I remember. You left them on
Well,
full time.
we only run ours in the summer, so we lay them up, and if you don't lay them up right, then
Yeah.
you end up with problems with your tubes.
I don't remember what this was. This for the
Belgian ballast pumps.
ballast pumps, yeah.
And the main condenser. So when you're at sea, you can't make fresh water in a quantity to keep the boilers running. So we have to recycle all the water that goes into the turbine. And that's what the condenser's job. It takes that steam, turns it back into water, and we put it back into the boiler.
You asked that question about water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ocean water, seawater?
Nope.
No, it's fresh
Oh,
water.
no, it had to be treated.
Because the salt would be bad.
Treated.
That's why we have to recycle it, because if we use the steam and then just dump it out to the atmosphere, there's not enough water making capability on the ship to keep both those boilers running, so we have to recycle it.
Now, also, as I remember, you got in those turbines, you had 3 or 4 stages.
I don't know how many stages, but
At
yes,
the
they are
end-
staged.
At the end, there's a vacuum, it goes in there, what, 750 pounds of pressure?
The first one, the high
At the
pressure,
very end, you have a vacuum,
Okay.
sucks it through.
and goes to the next turbine, the low pressure
And
turbine.
what about drinking water?
They would make that.
Make that from
They have a reverse osmosis or a,
the
Well,
ocean?
they didn't have reverse
Or-
osmosis then.
we
they
do,
had-
but
yeah.
they have a little desalination plant that they would make fresh water.
They never run out of fresh water.
No.
Right, but they couldn't make enough to run the boiler, so they
Right.
have
Right.
to recycle it.
Right.
Little boats, the PT boats, whatever they call them, and they would create artificially farmed in occasionally. Kamikaze attacks, they couldn't see us. And they would just have these things going around creating artificial farm, and if it was not windy, it would stay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting, I never heard about that.
Yeah. Unless I'm dreaming.
So the artificial fog was to prevent kamikazes from seeing them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing the ships.
Where was it when you almost got hit?
Oh, it was a clear day that day.
Yeah.
But a kamikaze, somehow or other, kamikaze got through, and I can't answer the question, the pilot had to be killed. And the plane just,
Missed the boat. That was me, sorry. Michael's.
and the plane just went straight into one of the mountains. I mean, it was maybe 100 feet or 100, I don't know, 100 feet, 100 yards off of us, and just straight, but I'm sure he had been killed.
Because
And he went, well, if he hadn't been killed,
He would've hit the boat, yeah.
Yeah, not
Wouldn't
necessarily
have
our
missed.
ship, but another ship, but instead he went right into one of the hills or a mountain or whatever.
wow.
That's exciting time.
Exciting. Okay. Wow.
But people knew how all this stuff worked.
Yeah.
You know, you worked your 4 on 8 off, 4 on 8 off forever.
I'm sure you're 8 off. You went up, and got up to the deck and got some fresh air and.
You know, food was really surprisingly good on these ships. I don't know if you've heard that from other guys.
I did.
The food was really good. And working the 4 shift, the 4 to 8 in the morning, the cooks would get up and start cooking about 3 or 4 in the morning, or 2 or 3 in the morning, whatever. And we used to get hot cake, or hot pies every single day. Send it down to the engine room, you know, hot pie.
Yeah, the Navy guys, the guns were operated by Navy personnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Called the Armed Guard, and they loved, it was more dangerous to work on a merchant marine ship, but they liked the fact that they had cooked to order, and they didn't have to wear their uniforms unless they were on duty,
Yeah.
and so it was actually a really nice assignment for the Navy
Yeah,
guys.
we all ate together.
Yep.
Now, I don't know, but I was a midshipman, so I ate with the officers, but all the Navy,
Yep.
the whole crew ate together. And I assume the enlisted men ate with the other crew, all together.
Yep.
There was a very warm relationship
I'm sure.
between the two, extremely warm. Remember the chaplain, we were up in Swan Island in Portland after the war. The chaplain on the ship, who was Catholic, wanted to fix me up with a bunch of girls. He was a nice guy. Well,
Sounds like it.
Sam or
Should we?
your main consensus.
Yeah.
Greg, do you want to go with Sam, or Sam, do you want to go way up top?
Yeah, I wanna check it out.
Yeah, why not?
Well, you two can do that, or David, you can go with them.
I'll go with you.
Yeah,
So is this still full?
2 hands.
Amazing.
All right, we'll head up.
I'm not going up there.
Up we go. This is gonna look really good in fast forward. The fast forward climb all the way to the top.
You guys still in here?
Yeah, we're up,
All the way up here.
up top.
You're up, Mom. Anybody else in here? I'm sorry? Yeah. Are you down or up? Down. There you are. Just the two of you? Yeah. You're good. You have any questions?
It's a lot of stairs. It's a workout getting all the way up here.
You have questions? All right.
A ladder right there. What was that?
Yeah, and that's outside right there. I think we might be able to exit. Oh, we can. We can probably exit through here as well.
This is the crew's restroom.
Jeez. So Sam and I got lost on the way back, and we went into some.
We didn't get lost. We were exploring.
Was it two guys per?
Yeah.
Two guys per room.
Let's go up one.
Three guys per two.
Then, the officers, I think we're up one.
So this is where like the troops that you were transporting would stay?
No, this is where the crew
Oh, the
would
crew
stay.
would stay.
The troops are transported, they were down below on a cargo deck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not good at first.
Okay, now, let's go up here.
Do you have a portal on your
What?
window portal?
Oh, yeah.
See the guys who transport.
That looks like we're moving, doesn't it?
You gotta really keep everything straight in your mind.
Yeah.
Five.
13?
Look. Well, it's whatever it is. Yeah. Let's see what's over here. These were the,
Third assistant engineer.
yeah, this is the,
This is the end where all the engineer
Yeah.
guys work.
this is right, yeah, let's see what's over here.
This was your bathroom and shower?
Right, yeah, in there.
No.
Right over here, yeah.
Really?
I'm serious.
Only officers though?
Yeah,
Crazy.
This was only for officers?
yeah.
Did you hear that they'd have like waiters bring them food?
No.
I did not hear that.
So were you an officer and then?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it going?
You were.
See, this is a private
Okay.
room. Yeah, yes, I had a private room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a while. Before that, I was shipping out as a midshipman. I had a share room.
Right.
Two of us share.
Wow.
Obviously, these are all locked.
Yeah.
Here's- That's what I was shipping out as a third assistant. Yeah. Now, you want to go up? Sure. You ready?
Like you get so lost. So
Yeah.
you get lost on this ship. Corridors after corridors.
It's like a maze.
Yeah, exactly. This is a replica of your room?
Yeah. Not this
You
here.
did have
Yeah.
a portal, you have a little thing.
That's all the radio.
Oh, so this is one of the shared rooms.
Yeah. That's the radio operator there.
Did you have fans too? Did you have fans like this? Or those
Remember, we did down in the engine room, I'll tell you that.
Whoa,
Yeah, huge
look at this old bulky thing.
Yeah, look at
Typewriter. I use a typewriter like that.
Is that the radio
that.
room?
Look at the vacuum tube. Yeah.
So
The room like I had was just like,
There's a radio station here. KECW?
Maybe. Here, let's see if I can get a better look at this.
Wow.
it's all good.
Hear Morse code going on.
But
Look,
yes,
these are Morse codes right here.
Yeah, you tap them out.
basically it was all short, whatchamacallit, telegraph,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know, all my Morse code. There was no voice communication those days. It was all Morse code.
And what was didn't you say, maybe it was up higher, but you had people standing in like the crow's nest giving signals?
No. Oh, well, you could, yeah, semaphore, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You ever have to use a lifeboat?
So where was that up?
Charge like a light was.
Did you ever have to, did you ever lower one and get it and use it or not?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. Certain ports.
Oh, you had to get the
I was in charge of the lifeboat.
That's how you guys got to shore?
Yeah,
They have motors on them?
yeah.
Well, this is different now. These are the seats. Just part of this over like this. Hold on like that.
How do you fire it though?
I don't know, but there are usually grips that control it, and there's usually a chair. I think there was a chair that was hooked onto this.
You know, you have to remember, Gregory, this is 70 years ago, 80 years ago, 75 years.
Where did you
That's the
do?
flying bridge up there. Oh, here's
So that's where you did the semaphore from?
No, that's where I used to watch the battle.
Right.
I know all that.
So if you were in charge of the lifeboats, what did that entail? Just lowering and raising them?
Lowering, raising, you know, we had to go to shore. That's how I was the only one on the ship. The captain or some of the officers had to go on shore. Had big jobs.
Yeah. So they were motorized, right? Yeah.
This is the bridge.
Wait, Uncle Eddie, what was your rank when you
I
exited
was
the
a
Navy?
midshipman, and then I became an officer. Over here.
Oh, so Dad, look at that dial. That's the one.
So it was connected to the
Yeah,
one
so
down
the engines, the one down in the engine.
the engine
Yeah.
room.
Go back.
Yeah, that wasn't there. That's an add-on.
No. We got. We want to go up some more.
Like a chart map. Batteries.
On the way back, we should go see about your.
Oh, there's some sea lions down there.
Really?
They never used the guns on this ship?
Not on the ship I was on, no. When we were in Okinawa, we were not allowed to fire our guns. Only the Navy ships were allowed.
So this is the flying bridge, you said?
This is called the Flying Bridge here.
So you'd watch the battles from
I
up
used to watch the battle
from here?
from here. I used to get up here with the long glass. Like watching over there. See that hill there, that mountain? Stand on the flying
We were
bridge.
that close. So that's where the guys would be that you were transporting?
Mostly not, because most of the ones we transported were Seabees. And they were building airports,
Okay.
construction.
Well, what was the semaphore you were telling me about?
Sometimes you had to communicate with other ships. You had blackout. You were not allowed to use your radios.
Right.
So they had semaphore, you know, was it A, B, C, D? E?
Right, and it was a guy standing
Up
where?
here, be up here.
On this deck?
Somebody else would,
So they'd raise flags.
yeah, would raise flags, you know, receive what you sent them. They also had those lights, that was all Morse code,
Yeah.
you know. They had
Did everyone on
lights.
the ship know
What?
Morse code? Did everyone on the ship know Morse? Had to learn Morse
No,
code?
not every, I had to, I knew Morse code, and I knew it was called semaphore, which is the flags, you had to learn all that. But I would say only the officers probably knew Morse code. Some of the crewmen might have.
So how?
That's how you communicated in those days.
And so that was just to make sure you weren't intercepted?
What?
That was to make sure you weren't
That's
intercepted?
correct, yeah, so you could send a radio, yeah.
Uncle Eddie, is this the semaphore
Yeah, yeah.
code?
The various, these aren't semaphore, but these are the flags that you would run up here, depending on what you were doing. Semaphore, but they were similar to this, but have you ever seen a semaphore? Do you know what it is?
Well, I
It's
think
not a
I've seen
flag, you know, with a stick. And
it. Yeah. Probably seen it in movies.
those are the flags you would use if you were having a problem.
Need to learn how to focus this thing. This is for navigation?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So all navigation was just by
All
Stars?
Selected by stars. Yeah, we did have compasses too.
yeah before the days of GPS.
Those are all, yeah.
That's gotta be the coolest
Those are all
job.
deck.
Yeah, you see that? How fast could this thing go?
This 15 or 16 knots. That's what one step, about 18 miles an hour. There was smoke.
And you sailed from San Francisco
Yeah.
all the way to
All the way to
18
Okinawa or San Francisco?
going 18 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
took about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So do you slide down or do you jump down?
Slide.
So like,
Slide. Just slide. And your hands control your speed.
anything different up here?
Yeah,
Or
those are the cruise quarters.
cruise quarters?
Go back to Navy cruise.
Those are the armed guard quarters.
Hazard! 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 Hazard!
That's going back right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here, I got some training for you.
Yes, sir. Are you painting the green? I don't trust her.
Back up, back up,
Back up. Make a hole.